Kristopher Knowles. I'd like to say thank you for coming out to watch the match show. Did anybody, was it awesome now? That's great. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much once again from Chris, the line, and from Kristophers Wish. We'd like to thank you once again. Visit the website, Kristopher with a K, Kristophers Wish.ca. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great night, and Merry Christmas. Thank you.
I get frustrated at this point. You travel all those miles, travel across the country virtually, to get this going out there.
Yeah, I was looking forward to receiving it on my walk, and if I did receive it, my brother would have took it over and finished the walk, but sadly that didn't happen. So we were actually saying that although all of Canada has been with me for a year, I'm trying to duplicate that for 14 years and see how long it really is. And we were hoping that we could present it.
You gotta feel great about finishing the walk. What has been your goal of finishing?
I really feel good. I'm glad it's over, but we're not really over yet. The whole thing was to make everybody aware of the Biliary Atresia donation. And when I walked across Canada, there was a lot of people that didn't even know how to get a donor card or to sign it. So we were there, we showed them how to get donor cards and stuff like that. As well as in the middle of our walk, Sears Portrait Studios came on board ahead of Sears. Sears Portrait Studios are looking for donor cards in all Sears across Canada. So if anybody wants to become an organ donor, go to Sears Portrait Studios to see it.
It must have been pretty tough not getting that visa call. Was it the toughest thing, or what was the toughest thing?
Well, it was the toughest thing, but you know, it's been like that for 14 years, so I'm kind of used to it now. The second toughest thing was the weather. We've gone through every weather you can think of. Hail, hurricanes, everything.
Hurricane in Canada?
Yeah?
Felt like it anyway.
Yeah. We found it.
Fair enough, right? There you are. Well, you see the whole country now. You have hope that this opt-out system is going to actually happen.
Probably not, but I'm hoping it will happen in the next year or so, because there's a lot of people on the waiting list right now that are dying, passing away and stuff. And you know, I don't like to see that happen, because most of them are my friends because they've been in the hospital and stuff. And there's probably one person down the road waiting for an argument. And so we don't want that to happen. We want to get everybody saved and stuff.
That's the whole purpose of your walk, right?
Yeah, that's why we're trying to get this system ready, because if it does go like this, everybody on the list will be fine, healthy, receive an organ, and live their lives.
44 of Kristopher's campaign is Walk Across Canada. My name is George Marcello, the founder of this organization, and this, of course, is Kristopher beside me. Kristopher has arrived in Toronto today to mark the last day of a year-long walk across Canada. Kristopher needs a liver transplant. He has needed a liver transplant all his life. We were hoping this year, while we were walking from community to community, that his beeper was going to go off. Every day we prayed that that beeper was going to go off. We received about 700 media stories along the way and talked to millions of Canadians about this. Today is day 344, and we're happy that Kristopher has accomplished his walk. We're sad and angry that he has not received his liver yet. As a matter of fact, we're even more than angry. We feel that the government has been neglecting this issue for too long now, and it's the issue of improving our present rate. We have been urging the government for the past 10 years now to create a system called opt-out. 22 countries in the world have developed this system, adapted it, and have been using it. They have all shown dramatic increases in their rate of organ and tissue donations. It's about time Canada adapts this system. Kristopher's life would have been saved if this system was in place. thousands of other kids that have passed away in the past 10 years would have had their lives saved. What are we waiting for? The onus is no longer on us. The onus is on the government. We need to ask our provincial leaders and our federal leaders, why hasn't this system been developed? They have never given us any good argument against it. They have never given us any good reason. We have been before the Standing Committee on Health in Ottawa recently. Yesterday I was in Mr. Smitherman's office. We are not hearing anything why they aren't developing this. We need the public, who is in support of opt-out, and everybody else to urge our government to start creating this system. Kristopher is a reflection of what's going on, and Kristopher himself is sending a clear signal. He is pleading to the government, please create the opt-out system. Chris, why don't you just know how you feel today? Now, I'll tell you, this boy's amazing. It's a miracle he's still alive, too. Every day he could be passing away. He's got a serious liver ailment, and every day is a bonus day for him. That is why he finished this walk. He still didn't get the call. We are urging the government to get on the case, and we have an analogy. Presently, there's 4,000 Canadians that are waiting for organ transplants, and we look at this as being as these 4,000 people being in a burning building, and there's a window and there's an opportunity to get all these people out that window, and the country, the government has ignored going to this window, and we're urging them. Today's event is not only about completing this incredible walk, but it's also to send out an urgent plea to create opt-out. If we need to get a consensus from Canadians, we should do that as soon as possible. And the government will find out that overwhelmingly Canadians will support this issue, and then we're going to say, what were we waiting for? Why didn't we create this system a long time ago? Thousands of lives are at stake right now. We have the solution. It's urgent that we act on it.
I have a question. Kristopher, I was chatting with your mom before, and actually it's an easy question. I was talking about your health in general. For a healthy, able-bodied teenager of your age, a walk across Canada is something quite extraordinary. With your health, as it stands right now, it's even more so. How are you feeling today? I mean, this was a year trip. You gave up a lot of things. I guess you missed some school.
Yeah.
A lot of school?
Yeah.
Your trip, you gave up a lot of things. I guess you missed some school.
Yeah.
A lot of school?
Yeah.
What are you going to do for catching up?
Well, right now they're teaching me as an exchange student because I'm in high school. So they'll give me the 4 credits, and then after I can go back and take the exams. But if I don't want to, I can just pass and go to the second semester.
Wow, sounds like a good deal.
Yep.
How's your health holding out? How has it held out throughout the whole year?
Well, right now I've never been better, but for the past year I've been actually the best out of my whole life. Because when I was at home, I used to go in for surgery every 3 weeks, and now I actually haven't been in the hospital for at least a year now. And the only time I got sick was in Vancouver, and I only had the flu and stuff, so that was only a week. But since this whole year, I haven't been sick once.
Now, how do you go from regular surgery to, what is it, a weekly checkup? You're being monitored on a medical basis, aren't you?
Well, for the past year, they checked me once before I got on my walk, and they said, you're fine to go, see in a year, and hopefully if you get the call, you'll get it, but if not, then I don't know. But
Chris, why don't you show him your stomach? He doesn't look sick. When you look at Kristopher, show him your stomach.
all right.
And what was done?
I've had 20 operations just to save my life, and if those 20 operations weren't if I didn't get those 20 operations, I wouldn't be here right now. And because of those operations, I'm actually alive. And they're just banding to keep me alive.
Do you know what did they do? Explain to you?
I couldn't really tell you, but probably George could. I don't know most of them.
Basically, Kristopher is the most banded kid in North America. He's dances what's basically holding his life together right now. And every time a vessel bursts, he's in that much more jeopardy. And that can happen any day. Like if we had his doctor here today and you asked him that same question, he'll tell you the same thing. Tomorrow, Kristopher will die.
George was referring to the fact that you carry around a pager. I also understand that you carry around a cell phone, which was actually a gift. Could you tell me about the cell phone? Tell me about the pager.
Well, the cell phone was given to me by Rogers. They donated it to me because I wanted to stay in contact with my friends and family. So they thought that because I'm doing a walk and that I don't really get contact, and they gave me a free cell phone and minutes to keep in contact with my family and friends. And actually, beeper, if it went, I've been carrying it for 14 years.
Do you have it on here?
No, I don't actually.
Right here. So maybe we can. There you go. Now, with your mom, I guess it's a good thing that somebody's holding on to it. But normally, you would have this on you?
Yeah, I've been carrying this for 14 years. I've gone through 3 generations of this. First one, it was a beep. Second was a beep, and then another beep. And then the third one was a beep, and then a short number. And because for the past, I've been carrying this, and it's been going off and on for the last 14 years, and it's been prank calls, or they call the wrong beeper. So because we can find out the number, we call them back and see if they got it or not. And on the walk, we were hoping that it went off. And if it did, my brother would have took over the walk and finished it for me. And then when I got better, I'd go back and finish it together. But because that didn't happen, it hasn't gone off yet.
When it did go off, though, like you didn't know right away it was a prank. What went through your mind?
We were just like nervous and scared because we wanted it to happen, but like we weren't really ready for it. And it was just a flash. And, like we wanted to go get it, but we didn't no one really wanted to call because they were scared. But it's scary.
Is everybody understanding of when we say opt out? Like, is there any questions?
Well, maybe Kristopher could explain what presumed consent is. What is that?
Like everybody is on a list for organs, and if something does happen to you, they automatically donate the organs. And I think it'd be better because there's people right now that don't even know where to get an organ donor card or how to sign it. And if this went on, they wouldn't have to go around looking for a card or have to go talk to their family. And you just automatically donate your organs. Because of this, I'm pretty sure more people would have wanted to happen that way because some people do want to donate the organs, but if a doctor comes up to you and your loved one passed away, sometimes you want to say no because it's nervous and you're scared and you're sad because one of your loved ones passed away. So you probably have all the right to say no. But if this system, the doctor wouldn't have to come up to you and say, would you like to donate your son or loved one's organs? They'd automatically do it. And if that did happen, there'd probably be less people right now on the waiting list. And I'd probably I would have received my liver already.
Where's this program already in place?
In 22 countries. Spain was the first country that developed this, and that was in 1989. They had the vision to see that organ and tissue donation was a cure. And the king and the prime minister, the whole country made it a priority. And since '89, they have led the world in organ donations. They hardly have anybody passing away on their waiting list. Since then, 21 other countries have adapted a similar system. Some people are thinking this is a European country. What we want to show is that it's not just a European country. This is a system that can be easily adapted in our country, and we feel that it'll even have a more positive effect than what Spain is experiencing. So we keep saying the same thing. What are we waiting for?
provincial laws in British Columbia are slightly different than across the country when it comes to organ donations. Can you touch a little bit about that?
And you're right, they're just slightly different. What BC's created was a registry there where people can register their name, and they're the only existing province that have that in place. Ontario is developing a registry as well. Now that is, you know, certainly a step in the right direction, but when we refer back to that burning building where 4,000 Canadians are inside that building, why bring a small ladder when we can bring a big ladder to save all these people? And that big ladder is the opt-out system.
Why do you think politicians are not reacting?
Good question. Politicians have a fear, and they're in doubt of how the public's going to react to this. They don't even have an idea how the public's going to react to this because they've never done any kind of survey or poll. For the past 10 years, we've traveled through the country, and we went through 500 communities and talked to millions of Canadians. And after informing and educating Canadians about the present system and that system, overwhelmingly Canadians were favoring the opt-out system, and they were all saying the same thing. What are we waiting for? It's a no-brainer. It's common sense. It's an intelligent thing to do. And Canadians are the most compassionate people in the world. And when they know that there's something that gravitates to the common good, they'll approve it. And in this case, they would approve this in a heartbeat. So what we're proposing to the government is to create a two-step plan. A first step would be, let's do a national survey where we can document Canadians' feelings and let Canadians have a voice on this issue. And overwhelmingly, they're going to see that they're going to approve opt-out. Right after that's done, they got no excuse in getting to work and getting this system in place. And as a result of having this system in place, a dramatic increase of organs will become available and lives will be saved. What could be more important than that? And in the vision of the greatest Canadian, Tommy Douglas, he had the right idea. Health has got to be our most important priority right now.
Christopher, do you take inspiration from George in terms of, you know, what the future could hold for you?
Yeah, actually, if I didn't meet George, I wouldn't be here right now. About 4 years ago, I met actually my road manager, George. He walked across Canada to do the same thing, raise awareness for organ tissue. And I got to meet him. He came to my town, I got to meet him. And sure enough, he actually inspired me. And I asked him at the age 10 if I could walk across Canada, but he didn't really know what to think because I was young. But he gave it a few years and thought over it and kind of said, yeah, when I was 12. So he only had like a month, 2 months to plan it, so he rushed to plan it. But he got it done, and we started on January 8th when I was 13.
Do you have a favorite moment from the trip?
Well, not really. We started on January 8th when I was 13.
Do you have a favorite moment from the trip?
Well, not really. Just experiencing it was the best. Meeting students, because right across Canada we went to schools, and meeting students and kids that I've never really thought of meeting before. And we've been to over 200 schools, and just to talk to both of them about the organ and tissue donation. And it's just been a big experience because of that.
And when I say that we went, you know, to the people to find out, we traveled in Kristopher's campaign through 200 communities, and in 200 schools and all the community itself, we're talking to people about this face to face. It's not a survey, or it's not, they're telling us the same thing. We're hearing it loud and clear. Now, we don't have that documented. So when we talk, I mean, recently we were in front of the Standing Health Committee on Health in Ottawa, and we were telling the 18 members that were there all this. And, you know, the next step is, the onus is on them right now to act on this. You know, all the information is presented. The onus is on the government. We should be phoning our government. Why aren't you acting on this? And see what they have to say.
How hopeful are you that something is, that, you know, these changes are?
I believe this is going to happen in Canada. What we're hoping is that it'll be sooner than later, because every day that it's later, there's a person dying. As a matter of fact, in Canada, every other day, a person on the waiting list is dying. So we're hoping this will happen sooner than later. And then when it does happen, we're going to say, what were we waiting for? Why didn't we do this a long time ago?
George, there's a personal story behind your involvement. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Why are you involved in this campaign?
Well, 9 years ago, I was rushed to the hospital. I had complete liver failure, and I was on the waiting list. There was hours left in my life. I was fortunate enough to receive a liver, and my life was saved that day, and 5 others. I was out of the hospital in 10 days. I was back in the gym training in 2 months, and I would go back to the hospital to do my post-medical checkups. And I would see about 30, 40 people at Toronto General Hospital all waiting for organs, going through the same thing I was going through. And I talked to them. And as I walked away, I just felt this sadness in my heart because I knew half these people were going to die. And the thing I kept thinking of, you know, why does Canada have this low rate? Why are so many organs going to waste? Why aren't we making this a priority? The precious gift of life that can save so many people isn't getting addressed. And I just became obsessed with the idea to try and change things, and you know, that's why I thought, well, go right on the road, and I did that walk across Canada, and we did reach a lot of politicians, and that's where I met Kristopher, this young boy that wanted to continue carrying this torch across the country. So, I mean, I've had a first-hand experience, but even if nobody's had like a family member or anything, they should be, as concerned Canadians, they should make this issue a priority, because when I got the call I had liver disease, things were going great in my life. It was just during a bi-yearly medical checkup that they told me my liver, something was wrong with my liver, and all of a sudden I need a new liver, I'm going to die. Wouldn't it be beneficial for all of us if we created a system that maximizes the potential for organs and you know, have that available? Right now we don't have that.
What's next for
He's going to rest a little bit, enjoy his Christmas. He's going to actually, the premier of Nunavut invited him to go up to Nunavut on Sunday, and on Monday in Nunavut, the premier wants to take the claim of walking the last few kilometers with Kristopher. So Kristopher will be walking with the premier on Monday in Nunavut, and he wants to boast that claim. So, and then after that, he'll be, you know, going back to school. But we're not, this isn't the finish line. There's a lot more work to do to lobby the government. A lot more debates are going to come up. We're going to keep plugging away at the both levels of government to get this thing started and as soon as possible.
What's Kristopher's message to the government?
Well, my message is to pretty much everybody is please don't take organs to heaven. Heaven will leave them here. And these 4,000 people on the waiting list can be off and living their normal lives like I should be right now.
This trip is over. What are you proudest of that you accomplished over the course of this trip?
Well, I'm just proud of talking to all the kids right across Canada. Like I said, I've been to about 200 schools, and I've talked to over 1 million, probably 500,000 people. And I got my awareness out about the best we can. And we got actually on a walk probably about a couple months ago. We had Sears Fortune Studios came on board, and they'll be holding donor cards right across Canada. So, well, it's the only thing if anybody wanted to go get a donor card there. And it's not just signing an organ donor card, it's actually letting your family know what your wishes. So you have to go talk to your family and let your family know.
Okay, Kristopher's got to do a live eye with CBC.
For the march?
Sure, not a problem. What's your extension?
It's better on myself.
Okay.
Jula, G-Y-U-L-A. U-L-A, Jula. 647. No, it's not the WhatsApp. 899. 4722.
Then we'll dub that and give it back.
Okay, great. And I think we just started the dub on the sat truck.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot.
school. I'm not sure what school yet. And then we'll be doing a little press conference, and then I'm not sure what after. Well, actually, Sunday I'm going to Nunavut to finish actually the end of our walk. Yeah. Okay.
How long do you think it'll be? Just a couple of minutes. Okay. As soon as you're done here, you're gonna run to the city TV over there, okay?
It's been a long year, and I'm glad it's done. Well, the best part was it all was just experiencing a across Canada walk and meeting all the people that I met. I've met over probably 500,000 people and talked to over 200 schools about organ and tissue donation, and it's just been so fun. And every other day there's one dying, waiting for an organ, and I don't really like to see that happen, so I'm hoping that something can change and to make it better. Yeah, like my road manager said, there's 22 countries that have adapted with this system. It's called an opt-out system. That means that everybody in Canada is automatically on a list to donate their organs, and if they choose to sign out, they can. And I think it's better because you don't have to go up and talk to your family. A doctor doesn't have to come up to you and ask if you'd like to donate your organs. You don't have to sign a little piece. You have to go up and talk to your family. A doctor doesn't have to come up to you and ask if you'd like to donate your organs. You don't have to sign a little piece of a card. It should automatically donate your organs and save 8 people's lives if you do. So I'm hoping if it does happen that there'd be less people on the waiting list, and I'd probably be saved already. I'm fine right now, but for the past 14 years I've been waiting for a liver transplant, and the disease is called Biliary Atresia. Probably 1 out of 10 people survive with this disease, and the rest don't even pass their 2nd birthday. I've gone through over 20 operations just to save my life, and that's pretty much why I'm here right now. Thank you very much.
Good. Excellent. We'll deal with
Yes.
sitting people who are patiently waiting. Here we go. Good luck now. Have a good one.
Good, thanks.
Chris, where's your phone?
I have it right here.
Okay.
You need it?
Yeah, do you have
You don't know, I am just going from interview to interview. many? Entertainment. You're after entertainment. Yeah. Worst part? It's all about what do you do? Yeah. So what do you do? It's not the first time we've done that. So what did you do to try to get yourself out of that? Talk a little bit about that. Yes, I have. North Bay? Yeah. One family in particular?
I've gone through a lot of these.
I try not to. I try to hide. Yeah.
It is actually, it's really
Yeah, that's nice to
the sun, it's not too cold.
So you probably know exactly how many kilometers you walk. I've been saying over 3,000. You know exactly? Your family's been kind of, some people have traveled for the whole time. Your dad, your mom just kind of comes back.
Yeah, my dad's in the morning.
So that's like 18 and 100.
You get that fumble?
What's the reception like? Come to the we in break? Yeah, what is it, a lady selling soap? What is it, Mr. Clean?
Okay, well. Okay.
You got it.
Bye.
So at some point when we're in it, I guess, I don't know, how does it work? Do you come over to him or do I show him? He's gonna be able to see himself. We're gonna show Chris some of the footage. We gotta take over for It's almost the beginning of the end, and here he is after several interviews. He's done a ton of media this morning, and thanks for making your time for us. How do you feel? You're finally wrapping up over 2,000 miles, or kilometers, I should say. 3,000 kilometers of walking. How do you feel? You mentioned to me earlier that it's a little bit bittersweet, because yes, you're done, and it'd be great to get all that behind you, but you're a little disappointed. Still on it. Check this out. So you can see that, but there you are. Where are you there? No?
Actually, I think that's Canada.
At the very beginning, seems like forever ago, I bet. And here? Can you see?
No.
You can't see? I'm sure it's all running together, all these memories for you. What was the high point?
The high point was just actually 2 years ago.
I've been there were times when I know you went through a hurricane in Newfoundland and that was really rough. What did you keep in your mind? Well, there's a great example, right? Now, when you hear something like that, that's what keeps you going, and that's what we want people to know about, right?
Yes.
So explain exactly what this is then in terms of the opt-out.
Well, this system right now we're trying to get is called opt-out system, precious consent. That means everybody is on a list that's not organ donor. And if something tragically does happen, you've got to know about the organs. And I think that's better right now because the doctors don't have to go to and ask if you want to donate. You don't have to sign a waiver card.
Right. It makes it very, very straightforward to donate organs. Well, listen, congratulations on almost finishing. Think you're going to make the last mile and a half? I think you can do it. All right, and good luck. Hopefully we'll come through with a donation for you, and everything will wrap up on a high note. Thanks very much for doing this with us. Well, there you are. He's almost done, and they'll wrap it up in the next hour over at the Catholic Education Center on Shepherd. That's all live from Young and York Hills. Now back to the news. Chris?
Chris, where's your dad? Kelly, you want to do the photo op with Chris and the officer right now so we can get that out of the way? Well, then he'll give you instructions as well.
What's that mean? Means switch the camera to 5 megapixels.
Chris, one photo op with the
I
officer.
need you today, Cal.
I heard.
Take a picture with Chris beside the police car, too.
You're going to be backtrack.
What?
Robert, do you want to walk?
Yeah, you
Get out there. Hurry up. They're going.
Use that the other camera.
This one?
Oh, you want to use it or you want me to use it?
Yeah, you
Get out there. Hurry up. They're going.
Use that the other camera.
This one?
Oh, you want to use it or you want me to use it? It's up to you.
I did a bunch.
Okay. Shit.
Really? No, I didn't.
I tried on.
I thought he never could be, but when we saw people turn he wants to make sure the guy who marries his daughter is on the up and up. One of the best parts is when De Niro gives him a lie detector test. So see the classic, there's a sequel coming soon. Meet the Parents, starring Robert De Niro and Ben Stiller, Sunday night at 9 on City TV. I'm in the Staples Business Depot parking lot helping this lady
Behind the motorhome?
I am now. Why that?
I finished my Christmas shopping.
If I see you on a PDA, you have a digital camera.
The festival has great gifts for everyone on the
Trying to keep busy. Yeah, this part's the whole crowd.
What? Oh, baby. No tape! We should let Tall Ashley get out and walk. What's up? Want me to?
And you fall, free airtime, more coverage. Oh, we're a lot of fucking fans around. Details, visit tellusmobility.com/1. Some conditions apply. Tellus. The future is free.
Okay, I'll talk to you in a bit. We're almost here. Talk to you. Bye. We're almost at the school.
Follow her.
Okay.
Mark where she goes, okay?
Okay.
She said to follow her, right? You want me to get out? Get out, please? Want me to get out? Can I get through there? Move.
They want to do something here?
It's snowing. How nice.
Bringing stuff in. Give me that and help me carry the digital. Oh, they're getting run over here. spook. Where?
Okay.
sweetest sound Kristopher could hear would be if his pager goes off and he knows he's got that liver.
We were
There you go. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Doug Yak, Superintendent of Education, Mr. George Marcello, CEO and founder of Step, the Oregon Transplant Association, distinguished guests, and most especially Mr. Kristopher Knowles. It is a tremendous honor for the students and staff of Cardinal Carter Academy for the Arts, and for all the members of the Toronto Catholic District School Board to have Kristopher and the association here with us today, and to share in a small way in the courageous project that you have undertaken in order to bring awareness to the importance of organ donation.
We're honored to be in the midst of a young peer who acts rather than talks, and who personally sacrifices in order to bring benefits to those in need. Your efforts in order to educate us as to the ways in which we might improve the process of organ donation for transplants are very much in need. As you have chosen to educate and explain to us, it is our hope that the appropriate action will follow. We welcome yourself and the torch of life you carry. We have prepared a brief celebration for you today, Kristopher, and as a small tribute, which we hope will bring you some joy and affirm our admiration and respect.
We'd like to begin by introducing Mr. Doug Yak, Superintendent of Education, who would like to say a few words at this time.
Good afternoon. On behalf of the staff and students of the Toronto Catholic District School Board, it's my pleasure to welcome the Honorable George Smitherman, Minister of Health and Long-Term Care, via teleconference at 2 p.m. this afternoon. All of you, and of course, our guest of honor, Kristopher Knowles, and his team from the Catholic Education Center. Kristopher, your courage and determination demonstrate a strength and maturity beyond your years. You had a wish that was strong enough to push you into action, action that to most of us would have seemed insurmountable. To walk across Canada, spreading your message of hope and peace to those awaiting organ transplants. Today we salute your efforts and congratulate you on completing your walk. Kristopher told me a few minutes ago that it was 344 days of walking and 2 pairs of shoes. You have taken a risk and accepted a challenge to make your vision a reality. My wish, and the wishes of everyone here, is for you to obtain your personal wish for a transplant, and that others will learn and be inspired by your bravery. We thank you, your family, and your organizers, especially George Marcello, for your accomplishments, and wish all of you peace and joy over the Christmas season, and hope that the inspiration you have planted in the people you have touched continues to grow and provide support to all those in need.
Thank you, Mr. Yak. We are about to view a video which tells us about Kristopher's personal journey, but before that, we would like to read a statement written by George Marcello, the CEO and founder of the Step-by-Step organization. So, it gives me great pleasure to introduce Step-by-Step, a non-profit charitable organization. We are committed to promote organ and tissue donations so that more people who are desperately waiting for these precious gifts can have their lives saved. The entire globe witnessed the first historic heart transplant when it was performed in South Africa in 1967. Since then, countless people throughout the world have received organ transplants and as a result have led healthy and active lives. Before organ transplants, these people would have likely died. Clearly, we have a cure on our hands. A lot of credit goes to the researchers, hospital staff, and agencies that facilitate the process. The most important person is the organ donor. Without them, the process would not exist. People from all walks of life have been and are continuing to receive diagnosis of terminal organ diseases. They now have an opportunity to go get on a waiting list and receive a life-saving organ transplant. Canada has almost 4,000 people on the list, and the United States has 80,000. The unfortunate comment in this picture is that many people will not receive their transplants. In fact, every day someone is passing away while waiting in Canada, and every hour someone passes away in America. Many precious organs are going to waste in both countries. The problem is donations. Clearly, we must do more, and more can be done. We at Step-by-Step are committed to address that issue by continuing to inspire the public, media, and all levels of government. We have made a tremendous impact in this area thus far. Notable campaigns were the recently completed Canada 769-day walk, and prior to that, the Ontario walk. When it comes to awareness, we have educated and informed the public about organ and tissue donations in 500 communities. We have reached many schools and ethnic communities, extending this important message to areas that seldom get reached. Our efforts with the 3 levels of government have helped to create many programs and funds. Last and not least, the work it took to arrange an audience with the Pope helped bring global attention to this issue. Our next project is called Kristophers Wish. We are referring to this campaign as the next step. 14-year-old Kristopher Knowles is waiting for a liver transplant. He has a wish. His wish is to trek across Canada to help every man, woman, and child that is on the waiting list for organ transplants. The young teenager is very courageous and determined. As we are organizing our activities, the moment is growing. We can begin the video show now. So instead of watching the video now, what we're actually going to do, Mr. Smitherman, the Minister of Health, would like to say a few words by the telephone to Christopher. Then we'll watch the movie.
Stand in front of you. Stand right in front of her.
You are the only person in the meeting now.
I'd like to attribute this little mishap to the people working at Bell Mobility. Clearly we should have gone with Rogers. I had no say in this matter. So I guess it's an important time to remember that patience is a virtue. And that virtue is a grace.
We can all listen to Mr. Smitherman play the piano for a couple seconds. That's his secretary.
Apparently I am the only person in the meeting now, and have been for the past minute.
So, holidays are coming up soon. Everyone excited? Yeah? Well, chipper. Be jolly. Who wants to sing a Christmas carol? Okay. Who? Okay. Which one? Do you want to lead us in a Christmas carol? No? Or gangster rap or something of the sort. Do you have a favorite Christmas carol? He likes them all. He's just an all-round accepting person.
I stepped in and picked my favorite Christmas carol at this point. It's a story of a young reindeer who, I think he was from the North Pole, if I'm correct. Yeah. And something... Thank you. So,
okay, so let's start this. If Miss Hickey, you want to give me a hand somehow? No? Okay. Okay, so ready? One. Yeah, if there's no one singing, I'm gonna feel really bad up here, so I better hear some belting, alright? Okay, ready? And we are in art school, so we have a certain reputation to uphold here. Okay, ready? Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose like a ball, and if you ever saw it, can you even say it? Up there in the back. To say, Rudolph, with your nose so bright, tonight. Then all the reindeer loved him, as he shouted out with glee, Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, you look at his story.
we all just got moved on to the good list. Are we ready? Okay, Mr. Smitherman.
How's it going?
We just sang a song. How are you?
Wait, can we put the mic to the conference unit?
Thank you, sir.
Oh, easy on the sir.
Oh.
Not that old.
I bet you're a very good-looking fellow.
Is Christopher there?
Yeah,
Hey, Christopher, how's it going?
I'm great.
I wish that I could have got up there today, but you know what? The legislature is in session, and it's the last day, which is kind of like the last day of school. But they don't give out the report cards today, they just ask the hard questions, so I had to be here at the Ontario legislature. But if I had the chance, I would have been there to say to you in person what I'm pleased to have a chance to say anyhow. And that is, Kristopher, that we're proud of you. You know, before, you've heard me before call you one of my healthcare heroes, and it remains it's even more true today. I want to say in the presence of all of those who were there to congratulate you today on the great work that you've done, that the province of Ontario is so proud to have you as one of our citizens. And I think you're a great example to the youth of today about the power that comes in the voice of one person who has moved forward in a courageous way and got so much support behind you. That's why I'm so proud to be able to call you a friend and one of my healthcare heroes too.
Mr. Smitherman?
Yeah, I'm still here, but I gotta go off to work.
Okay there, Chris, have anything to say to Mr. Smitherman?
No, but thank you.
I look forward to seeing you in Sarnia, and in the meantime, want to wish you and all of the members of your family and all those like George that have played such an important role of supporting you as you've gone off and done that. It takes a team to support a hero, and I know that you've had a lot of that support. And I'm just really proud that I've had a chance to meet you and the people that love you and care for you and support you too. So to everybody, I want to wish you happy holidays and Merry Christmas and the like. And Kristopher, I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye-bye, everybody.
See you.
Okay, so I think now, without further ado, we are going to go to the movie, so.
Everybody, please welcome Kristopher Knowles. Please give Alessia Grecky a round of applause. Thank you, sweetie. That was beautiful. Okay, this is Christopher's favorite time. It's called Up Close and Personal with Kristopher. You get a chance to ask him some questions. And today's the final day. You're going to miss this. Doing this Q&A stuff. Yeah? But first of all, are there any students here that walked this afternoon? Can you stand up? Let's give these students a warm round of applause. Also, wasn't that an awesome escort? Let's give 32 Division a round of applause. I want to also say thank you to your principal, Mr. Angelo Bellata, for organizing all this. Sir, thank you. As well as my friend, Miss Dion Fodard. Once again, it was a pleasure organizing things with you. Mary Walker at the back, also in communications, thank you. We also had some great help from Mr. Blair. Sorry about that. Please give Mr. Blair a And I'll tell you something, and I'm saying this right from the heart. We went through 200 schools, and from coast to coast, we visited almost every type of school. Today was the best school day we ever had. Right, Chris? Now, before we get to Chris, I want to introduce the rest of the team here. To my right, we have Kelly Knowles, Dad. Also to my right, Kelly's mom, Sandra Knowles. His mom? Sorry about that. And also that lovely lady beside her, Ashley Knowles, the sister of Chris. Oh, Robert. Christopher's brother, Robert, stand up. I also want to take this opportunity to thank my brother and my sister who's up there, Sammy and Kathy, and who, by the way, my sister Kathy's a teacher as well, and she doesn't like getting recognized. She's going to kill me after. That's okay. I always get shots from her. Thank you guys for showing up. Where's Merle? Merle is a film director, and he's been doing all the videography during the entire campaign, and he's going to produce one heck of a documentary when he's done. Please give it up for Merle. There's a few things I learned from Kristopher while being on the road with him. And I'll tell you first of all, Kristopher, he wasn't really up for getting all this attention and media and all that kind of stuff. Kristopher was just trying to find a way to get out of school. Found a way. No, I'm only kidding. But what we all did find out about Kristopher is his amazing character. And what he's gone through in his life, you can see in the video, and you know, he's teaching me and almost everybody that gets to know Kristopher a few things, you know, about surviving and being optimistic and not letting any barriers get in your way. And in this case, you know, he had some pretty big barriers that he's still dealing with. The other thing I learned was about SpongeBob, who I did not know at the beginning who this SpongeBob was. But Chris here had everything SpongeBob, from SpongeBob underwears to SpongeBob pillows to SpongeBob. Everything was SpongeBob. I finally watched an episode of SpongeBob. He's a pretty cool guy. So he also taught me how to like SpongeBob. So now, you haven't converted your dad yet to SpongeBob? Oh well, sorry, Kelly. So now is the time to ask some questions for Chris. We have time for maybe 3 or 4 questions. So who's ever going to raise their hand first will make sure that they get a question asked. And we have somebody up there. Mr. Bellato, can you please recognize the student?
Visit your girlfriend. Probably sleep. And then hang out with my friends, and that's about it. Well, actually, one of my heroes is, and probably not the only, but one of them is actually George. I wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for him. About 4 years ago, he walked across Canada to raise awareness for organ and tissue donation. And I got to meet him, and sure enough, he inspired me to do a walk across Canada. So I asked him when I was 10, but he kind of ignored me, didn't know what to think. So he left. He just left me there. And then, George, he came back a year later, and sure enough, he goes, well, we'll talk about doing a walk across Canada. I'm not sure if it's going to come up yet, but we'll think about it. So another year went by, and we talked to my family, we talked to school, talked to everybody, and sure enough, we started, and it's been a great success. Like, today's the last day. And, well, first we would like to present him with something. On behalf of my family, Kristophers Wish, we would like to present him with his own portrait of himself. A guy named Joseph Molaski, I think so, that's how you say it. Like the posters that you've seen with my face on it, and the van. He drew a portrait of me and drew a portrait of George too. Look at that guy.
Next question. Right in the middle. Yeah.
What's your favorite hockey team?
Toronto Maple Leafs. Toronto Maple Leafs.
What city are you from?
Sarnia, Ontario. It felt great. Like, today has been the best day so far of our walk, and it was awesome. I see those balloons go up in the air. It's great.
What's your favorite color?
Put your hand up and keep it up for a while so you can see. There you go.
What's the most memorable thing that's happened to you this whole trip?
The most memorable thing has happened to me. Well, it's a funny thing too. Is that right? Okay. Just probably a week, 2 weeks into my walk, I was in a hotel, and I had to go to the washroom. So I ran in and I closed the door for privacy. And privacy. And I couldn't get out and I got locked in for 3 hours. But it was kind of weird because George, my other road manager, his name was Billy. Oh, not my assistant road manager. And who else was it? A manager went and knocked on our door and thought that I was joking. And so they left me in there. So they found out that I wasn't joking a couple hours later, and they got my dad, and my dad saved the day. I guess I have to go back to school. And then, well, like, our walk is over, but it's not over to make awareness. We're still gonna go out and visit some places, but other than that, thank you.
Yeah, that's actually a funny story, the bathroom story, because a friend of mine who I've been doing this little hosting event with, Greg here, was actually locked in a bathroom last year at school, and for at least 3 hours. And I think Mr. Bellotta and I can agree that that was our favorite moment of all year last year. So yeah, that's whoa, haha. Continuing. It is our pleasure now to introduce two students from, two fellow classmates actually, from the Cardinal Carter Academy for the Arts Drama Department, Senor Joey Latino and Senorita Christine Kinghorn, who will be performing a familiar piece because, well, Lord knows this is the perfect weather outside for baseball, so they're going to do a skit about baseballs, which we all know.
Who is on first? Yes. When you pay out the first payment every month,
call on Jocelyn Santos, the president of our student council, to make a presentation to Kristopher on behalf of the students and staff at Cardinal Carter Academy for the Arts. Joining in for the presentation is our own Maria Jose Gui, who is herself an organ transplant recipient and who has been a spokesperson for Sick Children's Hospital fundraising campaign for many years.
Kristopher, on behalf of the staff and students at Cardinal Carter Academy for the Arts, thank you for sharing your inspiring story with us and for including us in this heroic journey. So we'd like to present you with this symbol of our admiration for you.
Thank you, guys. Please now allow us to introduce Mrs. Marilyn Grace, our school chaplain, who would like to offer a prayer for Kristopher's personal wish and for the step-by-step initiative and for all those in need of organ donor.
Thanks, Rick. Thanks, Matt. And just to let you guys know, I guess the song does get you a little bit higher mark. So, Kristopher, peace be with you. We know that where 2 or 3 are gathered in Jesus' name, He is present in their midst. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Creator God, we give thanks for the gift of life and for the gift of Kristopher. How timely that His return occurs during this Advent season, when we are called to wait patiently. We pray for Kristopher and all those who wait for renewal of life. We pray for all those who wait for healing, health, and who wait with Advent, and all those who wait for renewal of life. We pray for all those who wait for healing, health, and who wait with Advent hope. Kristopher has brought hope to our world by giving us an example of courage. In this season of Advent, we are reminded of our call to be peacemakers and to build peaceful communities. We are called to turn our swords into plowshares. May Kristopher and all those who wait find peace in this difficult journey. Kristopher has brought peace to our world by giving us an example of his commitment. In the midst of waiting for the birth of our Savior, we are called to be people of joy, always ready to give thanks for the gifts God has given us. The gift of life and the gift of one another. We give thanks for the gift that Kristopher brings to us, and we feel joy to be able to celebrate his homecoming. Kristopher has brought joy to our world by giving us an example of his determination. Advent calls us to be a people of love, as we wait for love to be born and reborn into our world. Our world, shrouded in Advent darkness, awaits the light of the Savior. Kristopher's love for others shines forth as he has walked so far to bring us an awareness of the gift of organ donation and the gift of life. Kristopher has brought love to our world during his journey, through the miles and by his gift of himself. Rather than do nothing, he has done something, and we pray that his wish is fulfilled. He has brought love to our world by an example of his leadership and his optimism. We know, Lord, that you will be with Kristopher and all those who wait. We give thanks for allowing us to be part of Kristopher's wish and for his gifts of courage, commitment, determination, and leadership. May he know that you are at his side and that he is in our continued prayers, and may God always bless you, Kristopher.
Sorry, that was really nice, miss. I enjoyed it. I'll see you tomorrow in second period. What teacher assigns a test on the last day before Christmas? Our chaplain. Nice lady that just made a little prayer. Assigned a test tomorrow. I still love you, Liz. Alright, so it is with great pleasure that I introduce to you Mr. Angelo Bellata, our principal at CCAA, for some concluded remarks.
Thanks for all that you've done to make Kristopher's final celebration the biggest he's seen yet. For a year now, Kristopher, you've traveled across Canada in the hope of raising awareness for the gift of life that organ transplants represent. You've spoken in over 200 communities across this great land of ours. You've visited an equal number of secondary schools and brought your message personally to more than 500,000 students. Media reports about your journey have reached millions more. Kristophers Wish has been a tremendous success because of your courage and strength in the face of adversity. We could not let you end this important journey that is Kristophers Wish without a collective wish of our own. I am confident that all students of Cardinal Carter, those performing here today, those who were honored to walk the last mile with you, those who formed the honor guard in front of our school, we call them the Balloon Brigade. Those who are performing the Nutcracker in our theater at this very moment. Those who are in rehearsal preparing for their performances in early January. In unison with all those here at the Catholic Education Center, our second home, we would like to introduce a project that we affectionately call Our Wish for Kristopher. Most simply put, our collective wish is that one day soon, even in the middle of the night, we already know you sleep in SpongeBob pajamas, so even in the middle of the night, we wish for your beeper to go off to confirm that a new liver has been found for you. We will keep you in our prayers until that day, and we will keep your example of courage and selflessness in our hearts until that happy event. In this day of less than positive role models for youth, you have become a super positive example of a young person who dared to act on his beliefs so that others might benefit. This is one shining example of the power of one. How one person can make a difference in our world when they set their mind to do so. We are honored to be chosen to help you celebrate your accomplishment. And we pray for your next important part of your life journey.
So now I think we're going to have another song being sung by our own grade 12 vocal student, Jacqueline Sakuris. She's going to perform The Wind Beneath My Wings.
been such a pleasure to have you here. I think on behalf of everyone, you're an awesome guy, down to earth, and it was really great to be able to share this with you today. So thanks a lot for coming today.
So as a finale, we're going to have Mr. Marcello come and he's going to close for us. He has something to say.
Thanks once again. Before everybody leaves, what we want to do is try not to forget about Chris. And one way of not forgetting about Chris is to touch the torch. So we're going to have Christopher, is that the only door going out there?
Yeah.
We're going to have Christopher, don't touch the top part or you're going to get dirty. Okay? And he's going to carry the torch and go to the back of the door. If everybody can touch the torch, put your love into it, and that's going to go a long ways. Thank you.
Chris, we'd just like to invite you out. I have no idea what your plans are for tomorrow. You probably want to get the heck out of here, but we're having a bit of a little talent show thing that we do at the school. It's called the Spirit Assembly, and since your spirit is so great and so overwhelming, we wanted to know if you just want to come hang out with us tomorrow. You don't have to answer us right now. I'm pretty sure you got a busy agenda. So, but the invitation, if you want to come hang out with us tomorrow, we'd love to have you. Okay?
Oh, wait.
Excellent.
Thank you, thanks. Oh, I'm gonna get hurt. Brother and big brother. Big brother.
Hey, Dad, I'm cutting this off. Dad. Set it off.
Stuff for you, Bob.
Okay, and just give me a sign when you want me to wrap it up, and then I'll read the other VOs, and then I throw back to Ben and Sarka? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Is this your last interview?
Is it my last interview, George?
Huh?
Is this my last interview?
Oh, you got CBC tomorrow morning and a couple other things in the afternoon tomorrow.
Wow.
Okay, thanks.
Approaches. The French too bad. Sorry, please.
I'm sure I'll fake it.
5 to sting.
Oh, I'm looking outside. Isn't that hard?
All right, time for Marcia McMillan's health report.
And Marcia, you have a very special guest with you tonight.
That's right, Ben. Tonight we're following the story of Kristopher Knowles, a brave young man who walked across the country to raise awareness for organ donations. Well, we talked with him back in February. Here's what he had to say.
From here, we're going to walk to BC and then fly back to Toronto for a break.
Okay.
And then we'll fly to St. John's, Newfoundland, and then walk back to Toronto, and we'll finish December 25th, Christmas Day.
And I'm looking at my watch, and Kristopher Knowles joins us right now. It's December the 16th. How is your journey? What's happened to you in the past 12 months since we last spoke to you?
My journey's actually been really fun. I never thought I'd work in cross country in my life until I met my road manager, George. And when I did, I'm glad I did, because he's been a very good experience. He's a hero to me. And the journey's been really fun. Canada is very big and beautiful. And I've met over 500,000 people, and visited over 200 schools and 200 cities and towns. And It's been very fun.
Now, you've been a hero to a lot of people. Talk a little bit about why you decided to get out there at such a young age and talk about organ donation.
Well, for the past 14 years, I've been waiting for a liver transplant, and I haven't received it yet. So when I met my road manager, George, when I was 10, I kind of asked him if I could do a walk across Canada because he inspired me. He didn't know really what to think because I was 10 at the age, but after a few years, he thought it over and he wanted to pass the torch to somebody else. And sure enough, it was me. So I was kind of happy. So actually, we started it on January 8th and actually finished it today.
Ahead of schedule.
Yeah.
Now, you're wearing a beeper, not just because you're a very important young man, but that serves a specific purpose. What's that for?
Well, for the past 14 years, we've gone through 3 generations of beepers. And if this does go off, I would have got rushed to London Hospital. And if it went off on my walk, my brother would have took it over and finished the walk for me. But that didn't happen, so.
So did it beep at all?
It's beeped, but there have been prank calls or they've called me on beepers, so.
False alarms.
Yeah.
So do you feel like you've changed people's minds about organ donation?
Yes, I did. For the whole walk, we've been talking about organ and tissue donation, and I hope we did change it. And now, actually, we're talking about this new system called presumed consent.
Right.
That means everybody's on a organ donor list to become organ donors, and if they choose to take themselves off, they can if they want. So for the next couple of weeks or months now, we're going to try to make that change.
Well, good luck to you, Kristopher, and we hope you get that gift from life that you so desperately need.
Thank you.
And congratulations for being such a hero. Thanks, Kristopher. Merry Christmas. Well, in other news tonight, 2 major studies about birth control pills are seriously being questioned. The studies said oral contraceptives reduced a woman's risk of heart disease and breast cancer. Now, U.S. health officials say the research is flawed and the information is suspect. And a hospital in Cleveland wants to evict Ronald McDonald. French fries and McNuggets do not belong in a medical institution, they say, and the hospital says they are adamant about reducing heart disease in their patients and staff. For their part, the Golden Arches says their menu fits into a healthy, busy lifestyle. And that's health news for tonight. Back to Ben, sir.
All right, thank you very much. And wow, what a story for Kristopher.
What a great guy. Congratulations.
Yeah, and to call George his hero, yeah, as Marcia said, he is many people's heroes. Let's turn to John and Dina now. Let's talk to you. Dina, which celebrities are the most annoying of 2004?
Well, then, according to Star Magazine, who released their
Wonderful.
top 10 list, females...
Kristopher, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great.
Where is she? And Elton John were the only